Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the Elli and the Duplex. So the Elli is a cruiser here. Let's pull it up. So she looks just like that the tier 6 Italian whatever it's called.
Duca d'Aosta?
Yeah, she looks like a Duca d'Aosta. Long, with those kinds of guns. Okay, so that's the frame that at least they set her up with. And we'll talk about the characteristics in a minute. Okay. The other one is the Duplex, which I don't know what ship they might have taken for this to build. But anyway, here's the Duplex. Now, we are going to look at these two ships over the next hour or two, and we're going to we're going to look at the ship parameters. I want to play a couple games in each, and we can talk through it. Okay, we can decide which ship we like better. The ship, there's going to be a contest in the upcoming patch, and you, the community, will choose which of the two ships that you're going to fight for, so to speak, in the patch 12.7. Whichever one becomes the top picked ship, that will become the reward for the paid battle pass in 12.8. Okay? So you're going to see something coming up about that information with more details, but that's what this is all about. That's what this event is all about. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that and see see where we go from here. These are both tier 6 cruisers. Now, let's take a look at, let's start by looking at the Duplex here. So the Duplex has 203s, so it's a heavy cruiser, capable of shooting HE and AP. Now the HE pens 34 millimeters, and it's got, you can see the initial velocity there for its guns. Looks okay. 850 millimeters per sec. Reload time is a little bit slow, 15 seconds of reload. So it's not like a light cruiser where you can spam the guns. All right. More like a French heavy cruiser. What do we have for its oh, okay, hold on. Sorry, Stevie wants on my lap. Part of the reason I was so late coming back up, guys, I had to go and feed Stevie. All right, so it does have main battery reload booster, characteristic of French cruisers. Okay. Put hydro or a defensive anti-air. Okay. It does have torpedoes. I'm guessing these are traditional 9s. Yes, traditional 9 French, 2x3. Okay. There they are right there. Okay. Kind of what you'd expect on a French cruiser. Let's take a look at its speed. 32 knots at tier 6 isn't bad. I'd say it's probably about average-ish. And rudder shift of 9.5 seconds. I want 5 seconds or less destroyers. I want 10 seconds or less for cruisers. And 15 seconds or less for battleships. So 9.5 means I don't need to put the rudder shift module on. I could use the propulsion module for it. Detection by sea, a base detect of 13.8 isn't too shabby, I suppose. Let's go ahead and throw some modules on the ship. And let's see.
13.8 is pretty bad at tier 6.
Well, let's find out. So we've got, we could put the engine boost on. It's a French heavy cruiser, so we probably should go ahead, pick up an engine booster. There's Stevie for y'all. Go back to the ship. Put the engine boost mod on. Aiming systems. And I'd probably go propulsion. Alright, and then recommended signals. What do they got? Fire chance, sure. This is okay to do the extra hydro. Anti-air rating is probably not the greatest. 31. Whatever. Let's add a flag and give it 32, just because we can. Fire reduction. Whatever. So then we just have to build our captain. Can we use a standard French cruiser captain on here? Like, say, Honoré. I don't see why not. Upgrade gunner comes in handy. Buffed adrenaline rush comes in handy. At tier 6, survivability doesn't give you too much extra. Superintendent, not too much extra. Demolition's okay. So we could probably get away with doing that. Or I could put Philippe Abanu on. Now, Abanu I have built with heavy H, so he's on a lighthouse build, more for like a higher end cruiser. And you can see he's not even level 21 yet, but he also gets the buffed survivability expert. So you get a little bit extra HP out of that. You do lose the buffed adrenaline rush, and you can be spotted from orbit because of the nerf to your detectability. I think for yes, sir.
I think if you go lighthouse, you want top grade gunner because your gun range is the same as your detection if you go for this.
That's right. I would agree. I would definitely want to go for top grade gunner. That would be what I would pick up if I were to do that. Oh. So I missed out on top grade gunner. What have I got too many of these skills. So for high tier cruiser, all of these skills are very handy. Middle here. I guess you would drop concealment expert if you wanted to go true lighthouse build, right? You don't care if you're detected at that point.
You can drop superintendent, I think. You don't have a heal.
Right, but what I'm saying is I want to keep this for a high-end French cruiser build anyways. Are there any
you probably just use a battleship captain on it.
Are there any French cruisers at that premium ships? French premium cruisers? There's the Colbert. Okay. So, what do you think about this? So let's redistribute. And let's go for... need both of these two skills. That gives me 2 points left for something else. Action time for hydro and propulsion is kind of sexy. I'd probably go for like this. Yeah. And I would be fine doing this in a Colbert too, so that's fine. Alright, so we'll put Abanu on this ship. Let's go ahead and give it some economic bonuses. Alright. And does it come with a special camouflage? It's got a permanent camouflage that's literally one color or another. That's exciting. And then we're going to go ahead and corgi up the ship. But we definitely want... Actually, you know what? I think I want the pirate corgi flag. I like that one better. We definitely want the paid actor flag because it's amazing and I'm all about it. And we're going to go ahead and pick up the... There it is. Corgi flag 2. Now, the competition to the duplex is the Elli at tier 6 as well. And this, if I recall right, only slings AP. No, it does shoot HE and does shoot AP. Never mind. Okay.
That's
so this will
insane shell velocity.
It's got 1,000 meters per second AP shell velocity. Very high, you know, pretty high for HE as well. Penetrates 25 millimeters versus, of course, the duplex penetrates 34 because it's 203 millimeters. Okay, and these are 152s. Reload time is 8 seconds versus duplex, I think, had 12. 15
on the duplex.
So you get twice the reload, but I would say with this main battery AP shells, this might be really good at dealing with broadside cruisers. HE's not too bad either. Okay. What does she have for consumables? Okay, so no heal, No engine boost, but you do get defensive anti-air and you get hydroacoustic. She's got torpedoes that reach out only to 6 kilometers. Also 2x3s. Okay. And her stock concealment is 11.7. So she's much stealthier stock. Her maximum speed is 37.7, so that's much faster than the duplex as well.
That might be
what
the
was
fastest cruiser at that matchmaking range.
it could be. Now, the turning circle radius is the same-ish, very close, within 10 meters. Okay. So the Elli, I think you would maybe play it more as like a cruiser that goes on the flank. It tries to, get onto the broadsides of enemy cruisers and then just unleash heck with AP. That's how I'm thinking, at least theory crafting. Let's go ahead and build it out. Let's see, no need for the special modules here, so I'd probably just do the engine and rudder protection. And then we'll go ahead and do aiming system. And now, what's the rudder shift time on this? 8.4 seconds. That's within good parameters. I think propulsion is the way to go for this ship. What are the recommended signals?
What kind of hydro does it have?
3 kilometer torpedo detect, 4 kilometer detection of ships. So I think that's a standard hydro, isn't it?
Sounds like it's standard, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Versus the duplex. Let's go back and look at the duplex's hydro. Duplex's hydro, same thing. 121, 114. Yeah. Okay. So do fire reduction again. Also do anti-air boosting. Guess I could leave that on for... Actually, this is actually more useful because it helps both defensive anti-air and it helps with the hydro. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a captain on. And why wouldn't you put Jersey Mike on this? Like you were mentioning, Grunty, this is the first of the pan-European cruisers, so you can take Jersey Swirsky and put him on this cruiser, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what are we going to want... Oh, I just noticed I did not take Last Stand on the duplex.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that and I forgot it. Maybe you don't need it. You'll find out.
Well, we will indeed find out. But I should definitely be taking it. So, okay, because I didn't want to take priority target. Got it. Okay, so let's see. Definitely want the boost adrenaline rush. We're gonna go for concealment. One. I don't want high FHE.
You could on 152s at tier 6. It allows you to penetrate all tier 7, 6 battleships as well as the cruisers up to tier 8.
So
the only thing you're not gonna pen with it is tier 8 battleships. It's not the most amazing thing to take, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah, the torpedoes, I mean, 6 kilometers, kind of bad range, so I'm not too excited about that. I might grease the gears, just simply because I'm going to be fighting closer than the French ship. So maybe I do that, take adrenaline rush, and I got 3 left. Top grade gunner. I don't know.
You could take a percent of the fire chance back.
Demolition expert?
I like to take it if I take IFHE because you get at least some of the fire chance back.
Okay, well, we can try it like this and see. So 5.5%, and then 1 more point left. You know what? I almost want to take the focus fire training skill. If I were to do that, I'd
take the gun feeder, to be honest, as the last point.
Gun feeder could work as well. Okay. So let's do that then. All right.
I mean, you have the 1,000 meter per second AP shells, so if you find the broadside ship, the
Mm-hmm.
switch seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then here, like I said, I didn't take Last Stand. I really feel like Last Stand would be helpful, but then I would need to take off Demolition Expert for priority target. I think I might just do that. So Last Stand, priority target.
You could also drop the consumable duration instead, and
Oh, wait, sorry, we weren't doing Consumer Expert, were we?
you did not have it.
Yeah, we did that, Pendant, and then we did Lighthouse. That's right, we did that. Okay.
You did not have. You did. Why did you take superintendent?
Why not? I've got a lot of consumables. And remember, like I said, I want to spec it for the possibility of taking it into a 8, 9, or 10 game in a French cruiser
Okay. Yeah.
that
Okay.
has a heal.
That
So
makes sense.
that's why I wouldn't do that. I agree with you. I wouldn't do that if it was for 6 only, right? Okay, let's get to the Ellie. Let's put the boosters on. Okay. And chat, which of the 2 cruisers are you most excited about? Tell me right now, and then that's the one we will start with. It's a Greek ship, huh? Okay. As I'll run the paid actor flag. Grunty says the Ellie.
Wait, she's Greek?
Yeah, she's got the Greek flag. French. Tied 1-on-1. Next one decides it. Where are we at for
Doesn't strike
ads?
to me like a Greek name.
No, it doesn't. Tell you what, guys, I'm gonna make a poll for this. Ellie Dup. How do you spell Dup? U-P-L I-X. 1 minute poll. We're gonna start it right now. While you guys are entering the poll, I'm gonna run a 3-minute ad, and we're gonna do a pet Stevie for Wolf. Okay? There's your ad break. Stevie cam. Let's give Stevie some love. Okay. Name? So, I'm running both of the legendary commanders. Banyu has 2 million potential damage. Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen in this game. I'm probably dead by the time I get that much potential.
I think all in all considered, the Honoré brother is probably the better choice compared to Aubagnol for that type of ship.
Because of the buffed adrenaline rush.
Yeah, and the buff grease the gears too, if you want to take it purely for that ship.
All right.
I think
well,
at the lower tiers you get more mileage out of that guaranteed buffed skill than of the potential talents that may or may not proc.
what I like about the poll guys is you just don't care. You want to see the ships. So it's interesting. The Ellie actually has a thicker armor belt than the Duplex. And the Duplex is the heavy cruiser, so it's got the bigger guns. Usually, bigger guns, bigger armor, but okay. Ah, it's got that little secondary armor belt inside, and it's got a raised citadel. Okay.
Whoa, that's a weird citadel shape.
It is. It is. Now let's take a look at the Ellie's citadel, at their armor scheme. So it also has a secondary bulkhead inside for torpedoes on the citadel, and you can see that the citadel is at the waterline.
Can you show it from the front? Is that a spaced armor on the Ellie?
On the
Put
Ellie?
the bulges back on? Yeah.
I mean,
It's not. Or is it space?
take a look at the French cruiser. Okay. Alright, well, whatever. I'm missing... There it is. That one. So... Yeah. Whatever. Let's just take a ship into the game and see what happens. Alright. Wolfie disconnected for a sec, so let's get into the game. I'm going to run Stream Raiders off screen. Because obviously we're more interested in the actual ships themselves. So, looking under the armored skirt.
I don't know.
The heck was that, Rob?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
I think my brain was being weird.
Okay, then.
So I think if you guys want to look at it for yourself, the armor layout of the Duca d'Aosta it looks like it's the same as on the Elli.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they took the same thing.
Everybody can look at it so, and it is indeed spaced armor. There's empty space between the outer hull and the citadel, which is good.
Alright, we won the loyalty skin chest. Booyah. What's up, SAT? How are you doing, sir?
Doing alright.
Cool, cool. Alright, so let's take a look at our battle. Tier 6s and 5s. Standard battle here. My gun range is only 15 kilometer, and my concealment is 15.9. So if I get detected by something, I can probably shoot back at it if it's about it.
Could you swap out the fighter plane for a spotter?
I don't think so. To go back and check, but I'm pretty sure it's fighters only. A lot of yours is going to require running mutants and masterminds. It's a superhero tabletop RPG. You can swap it up like any RPG. You need a hero idea and name. Simboto needs your help, guys. Mutants and masterminds. Okazi.
Mikaze.
Yep, I saw them, and they disappeared. One person target.
50% reload booster or a 75 one?
It's a 50%. Four people targeting me.
There's a Hawkins.
Yeah, we've drawn the Hawkins out. I'm gonna turn back around here and let's try to see if
Let's
we
see if I
can.
can find the Mikaze and Gokazi again.
Orbs are 6 kilometers, so unless the Gokazi charges forward, I'm not gonna be able to hit him. But I definitely want to go after our Hawkins here. So let's do that. So what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about like Captain Toxicity, mutants, and masterminds. Something with a brain could work, like Giga Brain. Right, so if he DCPs, I'll go ahead and start, actually, you know what, he's going broadside, so let's Do that.
I'm gonna punish the poor tier 4 Hawk, the Hawkins.
Yes. And, okay, so it can Citadel cruisers. That's good to know.
Well, to be fair, it's a Hawkins. Even a light breeze can Citadel her.
Uh-huh.
I mean, those are 203s. You even overmatch the cruisers.
Goodbye, Minakaze.
He had just spotted me.
You know that the Gokaze is probably going to come through this.
Torpille à
What
bâbord.
do we have here? Sub?
Torpille à bâbord. Torpille à bâbord. Boost des moteurs activé.
And no Citadels on the Gokaze.
Fire on the designated target.
Notre équipe a pris l'avantage.
Rob with the kill. Got an Arizona and an Iron Duke. I don't like to see them. Or if I took, I don't think I took Gun Peter. Okay. Arizona thankfully firing HE. Iron Duke was shooting AP. Need to turn and ready to receive. Actually, I could just duck behind the island and focus down that Arizona. I like that idea better. Shark Summoning Hero. There you go. From like Sharknado. Captain Toxicity sounds fun. There you go. Try Captain Toxicity. Double fire going. He like it. It's also kind of nice having a long engine boost.
Portugal hitting the
Fair
flood
enough.
on the Iron Duke.
Oh, I need to get a giveaway going. Apologies. Alright. DCP on the Duke. No,
He's
fire
still
flood.
flooding, actually.
Yeah, I see that. Alright. So one more salvo on the Arizona. And then we'll launch into our reload boost.
I'll probably
So-
wait until he's put up.
Nope, see, that worked.
Arizona.
So it's your typical French maneuver, right? You get them on fire, you get them to use their DCP, and then you use your reload booster and set them on fire again.
Un sous-marin ennemi.
If he was more broadside, you can also just fire AP into the side.
Per belt. That should be a dead Arizona. Okay, well, first impressions I would say of this cruiser is it's a French cruiser. Would I rather play this over current tier 6 premium, which is the what's it called? The Gal?
The Grasse.
The Grasse, thank you. I think I'd rather play it as the Grasse. It feels a little bit more maneuverable. It's got the smaller caliber guns, but it's got a much higher rate of fire.
I mean, I think it's kind of a flawed comparison because one is a heavy cruiser, one is a light cruiser.
Well, I'm just comparing premium for premium, right? Like, 'cause that's another thing to think about. Like, would you rather have another French premium cruiser that plays differently than the Grasse? Okay, that's a good point. Or, you know, the other one that's totally fresh or new or different.
Probably the quickest comparison would be the tier 7 Algerie or the tier 6 Agano.
I'm pretty sure the Wargaming stream actually mentioned that these are the Algerie guns. So
They should be.
Okay.
It's the predecessor class, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Protected by aircraft.
Boost des moteurs désactivé.
And I'm ship spotted, so that means there's probably a sub hanging out in the middle. Rob, I wouldn't be sailing that direction.
Or you could sail it. Either way, it's
I mean,
okay.
Hey, yeah, whatever. Secret weapons over Normandy. Good show. Speaking of rate of fire, Booster, San Diego, Colbert have really low caliber guns. Is there a trick to make them do more damage? You have many really fun matches with all of them, but you feel like you're missing something on the damage. So those kinds of guns depend heavily on setting a lot of fires. So I would say if you want to do more damage in those ships, make sure that you aren't shooting the same section of a ship. Once it's on fire, you need to walk your shells to a different part of the ship. Alternately, if they DCP, then you need to be working on trying to get them set on fire again so that that fire will stick and burn.
you also have to pay attention if you actually get penetrated hits, like because of the low caliber, you're shooting battleships. Mostly there is a high chance your shells are just gonna shatter unless you hit the superstructure, which will separate.
Right, yeah. You're probably not going to penetrate with the HE shells that much. I agree. So if that's... In that instance, you're better off.
Oh, look,
you're
what
just
I
looking
found.
for fires.
Yeah, or what you can do, you can skill into IFAG. Get direct hands on battleships, but that will get your fire chance significantly lower.
Yeah, I generally don't like doing IFHE. I mean, even on a high DPM ship, IFHE is still...
It won't help you on the Colbert at all.
No.
For the booster, it can, but it's a massive trade-off on top of investing 4 points. Most people will recommend not taking it on a tier 10.
Right.
I only like taking it on like 6s, and I would consider it on 5s.
Uh-huh.
Just because of the matchmaking range and what you gain and what you lose for it. But if you look at the high tiers, you have enough penetration to penetrate all the cruisers, so you're just not penetrating the battleships. But if you look at the mid tiers, then if you get up tiered, you are very likely to not even penetrate cruisers if you don't have it. So it makes more sense to take it there, because the potential targets where it benefits you is big. Right? There's more ships where it
That's true. It also does come down to who you're targeting.
Shoulder to shoulder, hey.
Nice. I haven't gotten that yet. Oh, maybe because this is considered a test ship or something?
Also, if you look at the meta, like, there's not a lot of battleships in high tiers and random battles right now.
That's true. Dragonet, this is an example of trying to walk my shells. I'm trying to get a fire on the back of the superstructure here. And I'm holding my reload booster for if he, does his thing. That being said, probably dead anyway.
Dégâts critiques au moteur.
Torpedo takes out my engines. Oh, that's terrible. Whatever shall I do? I know.
How exactly does a torpedo hit in the nose take out your engines?
I hit it. It was on the side actually that I got hit. Now the Ranger Citadel is right where I'm aiming here on the smokestacks. So getting some decent hits there. Now he is woken up, so let's move forward with it. torpedoes? Yeah, whatever. Strike team. Oh, and I got a hit with my depth charges too. That's fun. All right, back to HE. What I need to do is actually start changing course to get back over to the sub. He's my next focus, right? I need to find and intercept the sub. Both enemy subs are left and the carriers. And also fire off my torpedoes at him and just finish him that way, lol. Oh, secondary's in ball too. Where's E69? He's over here. Oh, another Citadel. Goodbye, Ranger.
Moteur désactivé.
My planes are spotted, so I'm going to see if I can find them.
Chasseur en vol.
Hallelujah. I'm bullying a low tier player. Yeah, I know. So we get hallelujah from that, don't we, Timbuktu?
It's a 0. Nobody is gonna feel bad for him. Or nobody should feel bad for him.
Oh, hello, sub.
Torpille droit devant.
La bataille se termine dans 5 minutes.
Wow!
Torpille à midi.
I know,
Torpille à
right?
tribord.
Did you just see where the ping marker was on the minimap and where the sub actually was?
No, I didn't. Is it really
Up,
different?
way off to the front of it.
It was way off. I'm gonna clip that.
Okay, please do.
I would have been surprised if that hit. But
Torpille droit devant.
there's a cash lot, I wonder.
Torpille à midi. Torpille par l'arrière. Problème résolu, chef. Torpille à tribord.
Goodbye, sub. Thank you, Wolf.
Boost des moteurs activé.
Coordinated attacks. Sub is over here somewhere.
Torpille droit devant. Torpille à midi. Torpille à bâbord.
5 seconds until my hydro is up.
There he is.
Torpille droit devant. Torpille droit devant.
Oh, that one wasn't such a nice dodge. I didn't have DCP available when I needed it. But he's kung fu fighting. There's his oil slick. Let's see where it moves towards. Rob, I love how your carrier's in the cap.
Well, I didn't see a
there he
particular
is.
reason why it shouldn't be. I mean, sure the sub's there, but
Gotta love guaranteed detection hydro. Well, hello, buddy. You want me to shoot you? How about this? How about we torpedo you instead? Alright, Grunty, you were talking about most satisfying sub kills. I think that.
Yeah, you might have me beaten here.
I think that. Oh, that was just wrong.
This was like a cat toying with the food before it actually kills the spider, ripping out its legs and so.
And not
Yeah,
only
it was
that,
the
look at that. I got that I got that other mission done for whatchamacallit, the sum.
crazy. The clip is very short because it was not visible for very long.
Battle starts.
Oh, two brothers. Well, only one thing we can do here, guys.
Is the Duplieux historical too?
You're correct. She is the 4th of the Suffren class. Basically a little bit before Algerie.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, she didn't do too much though. She was scuttled at Toulon.
Okay. Was that when they didn't want to give up the ships to the Germans?
Pretty much.
French
Germany's
sank all
like-
their ships.
Yeah. Germany said, yeah, France, we're not going to touch your ships. And then they walked in and France like, bruh. They just scuttled everything.
Yep. So I'm really screwed if one of those battleships, especially the Gneisenau, now decides to charge up the channel, but otherwise,
Want me to join you or continue going towards the side?
I would say you continue.
Elli also sucks at closer range because your torps literally deal 0 damage. Oh well, that's what Farragut's for.
Okay, Gneisenau is on the side.
I saw.
When you say 0 damage, are we talking regular European DD torps or are we talking Jäger torpedoes?
Max damage is 7,533.
So Jäger, okay.
They tickle. They're
Yes.
tickle torps.
I think Jaeger's slightly... Is Jaeger worse or actually the same? Okay.
7.5
Yeah.
something.
Pardon me while I just shove the Farragut out. Toxic CC right here, guys. Toxic CC.
Oh. T-22, are you sure about this?
It's the tuna
Direct
boat.
front. Torpedoes, direct front.
And he's charging with smoke on. This is nice. This is good. He's also within guaranteed spotting distance and blocking my
Ship is
shots.
on fire.
And he
Acadians. They make a mess of things.
He missed his torps.
That
He did.
torp launch was kind of impressive, right? I think
Alright.
missing them was harder than hitting.
AP test on broadside Algerie. Ooh, that felt good.
Well, Algerie also has negative armor, so...
Problem
I
solved,
know, which is
sir.
why I like this. And he's sailing broadside to me, which is very nice of him.
Ah. Don't you wish you had spaced armor, Algerie?
Well, we know he DCP'd the engine brake.
You should compliment this Farragut. He's playing pretty well.
Yeah, he just went out and he's he's opening up with his guns and he's spotted now, so that's good play.
Yeah, very,
I
very
think,
good
I,
play.
I think your spotting is gonna go down very soon.
It's alright, he did his job. Got an Issei with me. He'll take care of
Just noticed
spotting.
that your T-22 also managed to get himself killed.
Yeah, well, you know, that's why Tier 5 exists. And that's why that ship got a buff.
Also, it's clear, classic Tier 5 destroyer.
3 doors down, let's go!
Like, for the first 4 tiers, they're literally being taught to YOLO win and torpedo.
Yep.
It's that mean, like, we intentionally taught him wrong as a joke.
To be fair, the T-22 buff is more like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a buff, but it's more like get in line with all the German
I mean,
penetration rules.
sure. For me, the big thing is that hydro that they got. It's just so nice.
hydro buff to the D22 is over. It had hydro buff.
Back in my day, I had to play this, the T-22 as the worst Tier 5 destroyer.
Right? We called it the tuna boat for a reason.
Oh, come on, 200 health.
Attention.
Fishing
Reporting the
boat,
target
duck
position.
boat, yeah, it was.
Well, hello, Nicholas.
I'm pretty sure in the oldest version of the ship, it also had way worse concealment.
I thought the concealment did not change at all.
Did it always have under 6?
Nice kill, Rob.
I wouldn't want to bet on it.
I
Yeah, I'll be right.
And
Oh,
there
good.
goes Wolf.
Like, she was a passable torpedo boat, but otherwise she was completely terrible.
Gotta respect those
Also-
destroyers.
The guns were so miserable because they were the 1 and 2s. So
Although, to be fair, it was before the time where most people discovered the AP tech.
Air could actually hit a torpedo.
I mean, I didn't even really know if it was guns because it just lacked the penetration.
When you fight destroyers, it's useful. Against everyone else, you're hopefully torping or selling the boat so you can get something better.
And tier 5 kills the tier 6. For shame.
Okay, so Grunty, here is the history of T-22. The first buff started when the main battery traverse speed changed from 10 to 10.5 degrees per second.
It didn't even. Oh
Those readers
yes,
using
yes,
AP?
I do. That was such a laughable buff.
And then it got better because it added an animation of radar rotation.
Mm-hmm. That's important.
Does it even
Very.
qualify as a buff?
Yes, I mean if you're looking at the ship, it makes
Oh.
it ups your morale by +1.
+1 morale is important. Oh my god, it's a Normandy. Alright, here we go. Battleship armor test. Let's go.
Just dodge.
And I
Enemy
dodged.
cruiser sunk.
What?
Let's see. Then they increase the credit earning by 5%.
It's important.
Then update 6.12, they changed the detectability of firing the guns in smoke. I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf though. Let's see. Update 6.13. Oh, Grunty, you were correct. So base firing range reduced from 9.8 to 9.1. Detection is reduced from 7.0 to 6.5.
Nicholas just shot at me. I think he's coming after me in the channel.
Yeah, I thought I remembered it had over 6 initially, but made it really bad. And then it got one of the best concealments at the tier outside of the other Japanese destroyers.
Yeah, that was a huge buff there. And then much later, so they changed the concealment in update 6.13. It wasn't until update 9.14 that they added the hydro to the ship. And then very recently, update 12.5, they increased the penetration to 26 millimeter.
Yeah, that's the uniformation.
Hello, Normandy. I'm back.
Yeah, T-22 actually looks a lot better now.
Oh, she's great now.
It already got a lot better when they got the concealment back, because it made it so much more viable as a player.
I
Because it
agree.
didn't get outspotted by everything.
And 18 millimeters was just enough to fight other destroyers, so it did its job well
The
enough.
hydro buff,
Ooh.
when the hydro came, it made it easy
Attention.
against other
Reporting a
destroyers as
target
well.
position.
So you can do stuff like that with the small hydro warships.
It was pretty short. I still thought it was better for dodging torpedoes or screen
I
routine.
mean, yeah, obviously, like it's I think 4 kilometers, 3.5.
It's 3.5. It should be 3.5.
It's still nice. So that's and now the guns actually make it so the caliber buff, vision buff, now makes it so that you actually can use your smoke to farm a little bit of battleships and cruisers.
Rip the Larzatina.
Let's see.
Yeah, I
Looks
don't
like
really set as many
might-
fires as I'd like to.
I mean, you took IVG, so maybe you want to call them out or try them out.
Oh, that would be why, yeah.
Yeah, you're also not hitting that many shells. You're just too far away.
Mm-hmm.
Light cruiser issues.
I still like the IVG on 6s, just so you can penetrate the tier 5, 6, and 7 battleships, which you see a lot of.
How did the Vilecki was literally bow on for a long time, almost to the point where he looked like he was AFK. And somehow he found a way to die for that. That's it's impressive.
Yep. Statistically, Elli is one of the better fire starters.
This is how you know your team is bad, when you're the only player with all 4 kills, and needless to say, you lose.
That sounds like my average World of Warships game.
Alright, we found the Normandy.
Oh, I'm gonna torp.
Or not the Normandy, the Nicholas. Oh, he died. Neat.
Torpedoes to port.
And also, this is tier 5, where this is a tier 5 to 7 match. You're not exactly expecting pro level players.
No.
And you wouldn't expect them either in tier 7 through 9,
Torpedo test.
or 8 through 10.
Oh, I tickled him.
Nice, nice. Yeah, but at the higher tiers, you do have a higher chance of running into people that know how to play.
Yep. Leone and Fubuki just traded.
Yeah, but for the majority of them, they're just, well, they're plain out stupid.
I wouldn't say stupid, I'd say misinformed. Don't understand the mechanics of the game and what's
I
going
would.
on.
Yeah, you see a lot of inexperienced players down here, which is honestly what you want.
You know what I would like more for those torpedoes than actually having more damage? I think they need a bit more range. Considering their European dwarves, 6 kilometer range seems awfully short.
7.5, I think, would be reasonable. The duplex has 9 kilometer torps for some reason.
Yeah, they get standard
French.
is at 9, right?
Yeah, which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Like honestly, this could very well be 8 or 9 kilometer torpedoes as well here. Like what does a Wispy have, for example?
I think it's
what's
7
tier
or
6
8.
Vestarus?
Vastaros is either 8 or 10. Let me go quickly check.
Alright, time to turn around and get back into
Victory
this.
is in sight.
Dodgy Dingo, good
Yeah,
day.
Yeah,
That's
Vastaros
the-
is 10. If you want to be
looking at stock torpedoes.
if you want to be conservative, Stored has 7.5.
I think the Vestarus torpedoes 10 kilometers with 7,500 damage.
That's
I don't
correct.
Think that would be, I think that wouldn't be bad. I could
Nope.
see that.
Yeah, 10 kilometers range should be fine. It's not going to turn into a torpedo boat by any means. games. It just
No.
lets
Battle
for
ends in 5
more
minutes.
reasonable scenarios.
You still can't stealth though. The torpedoes have very, very low damage.
Got this Normandy just going for the decap.
You got this, Visby.
I know, right? He fires torpedoes and then he opens up with guns, completely causing the New York to shift. It's alright, it gives me time to practice my shots and start landing those shells. There we go. Oh, those are the Arizona plunging shells with the spotting plane up. That's interesting. Mine indeed, Blue Falcon.
New York is dodging your shells as well.
Well, it's more I'm just missing. But that's okay. That's why I like high DPM cruisers or high reload cruisers, because I'm at least able to adjust my salvos accordingly. You know, with the French cruiser we just played with the Duplex, I don't have that ability to do so, you know?
Well, on
Missing
the
a
trade-off.
salvo feels so much worse if you're good on this.
Yeah, at least Duplex, the shells travel faster, so you can hit people more reliably. Like, if it was not in New York and it was something faster, like that Normandy, and he's trying to dodge, then I would not bother opening it up.
Alright, dodge most of that hate. Dodge Normandy's hate. I turned back in because I saw the Normandy was looking for a shot on me here. Why would I give it to him?
Excellent premonition.
Right? Now I just
This
have to
up.
worry about the New York.
You just need to keep it up for about 1 minute, and you might be able to break 1 million potential.
I hated the New York so much. Hated it so much grinding through that line.
I think he may be sharing your sentiment right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, God. Why are you running?
Well,
Oh,
that's 100k in the alley. I know.
2 games in Elli, 2 games top MVP. I mean, like you guys said, I know the game, so for me, at tier 6, this is kind of like seal clubbing, but it's a chance to learn what these 2 ships can do. So at this point, I've played 2 games in the Elli, I've played 2 games in the Duplex. Which one do I like better? The Duplex to me feels easier to play. I think it's a more simple idea. You've got the engine boost if you need to. You've got the reload booster. Got the 203s, which honestly I really wish they were 152s. If they were the French light cruiser guns, I think I'd like the ship a lot more, and that would be a simple lock for me. That's the one that I'd want.
If those were light cruiser guns, wouldn't it just be the same as a Degrassi or
It would
the
literally be
factory one? Like,
Legali. It
get
literally
Legali, thank you.
Legali.
Well, so the DeGrasse has got it's got 3 triple turrets. If the Duplex, if these were changed to the 152s, I don't know. Yeah, it might be very similar to the DeGrasse, that's true. But to me, this ship is fun. Like, when I take this ship into battle, I know I'm gonna have a good time. The Duplex isn't too bad either. Different strokes.
I get what you're saying. Like, for the Ellie, you probably have to work more.
Yes. The Elli,
Like these
The armor
100,000
scheme-
damage games you had in the Alley, it feels like, oh, I have to put in effort, I have to make. Whereas the 100,000 damage games you had in the French one kind of felt effortless.
Mhm.
Because you can just stupidly spam the AG and it will pen and you will get the fires and you don't have to think much.
I think the other difference too is that the Ellie requires a little bit more careful with positioning. In the Two Brothers game, you know, a lot of players might not have thought to turn in to negate the Normandy shots and would have kept chasing the New York, right? And then what happens? Normandy just Citadel slaps it and it's out of the game. So I think in terms of skill requirements, I feel like the Ellie has a higher skill floor. It's harder to play. I think it's more rewarding if you know how to play, but I think overall it's harder to play, especially with ASW only being two stupid little puny depth charges, the torpedoes being pretty much meaningless. It's all about the guns and finding opportunities to use the AP, and also to spam HE every now and then. Without IFHE, I think is the way to go. Now, chat, what do you guys think? Which ship would you prefer?
I would prefer LA.
You'd prefer the Ellie?
I have a Degrassi as a tier 6 French cruiser if I want to play it. I don't need another French one.
Okay. Cruisers with
It will
destroyer
be
depth
more-
charges, you almost don't consider them. Well, these days that's part of it, right? Like, that's really the weakness of this ship. Of course, if enemy subs just surface and you can shoot them, hey, like that other game I had, doesn't matter so much.
What you have to keep in mind though, it's tier 6. Like, what's the range on the ASW planes on the French one? It's not great either.
Let's take a
Is it
look.
like 6 kilometer, 5 kilometer?
6. The nice thing about it is it does give you a little bit more flexibility to be able to have an influence. Like, go back to that fault line game, the first battle that we played. I was able to drop my depth charges on the sub, and then I was also able to continue my battle against whatever it was. I think it was the carrier, the ranger. So I was able to do two things at once. Whereas the Elliot, I couldn't do that in the same. I'd have to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Drifting- Go ahead, Grunty.
It's true. But it's not that these one plane here at the tier 6 is gonna be game breaking and killing the sub at once either. Like,
I agree. Now,
like if we were looking at tier 10 ships and you say, oh, my tier 10 cruiser has depth charges, yeah, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
sure.
I think at tier 6, while the plane-based ASW is still better, like no doubt about that, it's not as big of a deal as it would be at higher tiers.
Now, I do want to mention something that Drifton brings up, and this is a very good point, Drifton. If mines do enter the game, and let's be real, they're coming. Whether you like it or not, they're coming, right? Like, CV rework, sub rework, Wargaming shoved it in. One way or another, they shoved it in. So, mines coming in the game. I would much rather have a depth charge airstrike that drops some depth charges at a greater range than have to try to clear a minefield in this thing that only drops two mines on the side, and that's it.
Oh, I disagree. If we were
Why?
taking from mines, I would much rather have the depth charges.
Why?
Because they clear way more mines.
So the roll-off depth charges, they clear off more mines per salvo, if you will, or per explosion, than the air-dropped one.
Yeah.
Why, or how? Is
Also-
that just a mechanic, or what?
Because the blast radius of the depth charges that are dropped from the ship is bigger, so it hits more mines at once.
Okay.
With the airstrikes, you're only gonna kill like 3-4 mines, and that's it.
You were clearing 30 plus mines over the side versus 5 to 6 with airdrop. Okay, so in a situation with mines, then the Ellie might be better. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still crap. It's just 2. but it
The
might be
Elli is
better.
also so fast that you are very, very likely to just leave the minefield before it actually gets activated.
Duplex is arguably the same with speed boost.
That's true. You probably don't have to worry about the mines too much in the cruiser,
Okay.
no matter what.
But it's worth discussing, right? What you can get with those two. You know, I didn't feel like either cruiser is bad, and I think that's that's a testament to wargaming and their balancing here. Both cruisers are very similar, at least in terms of performance. Like I didn't feel like one is clearly a winner over the other.
No, they look both fine. Just completely different.
Now you talked to me before about taking rudder shift in the Ellie. I didn't feel at all like I was at a disadvantage taking propulsion. So that's worth noting. If I took the rudder shift, what would that get it down to? 6.7 versus 8.4. It's okay. I think in a tier 8 game where I'm more concerned about battleships and angling, that could help.
The propulsion is just really like, if you stop and go a lot,
Hmm?
the propulsion is good, obviously. Personally, yeah, it's not really my playstyle, especially if you have a really fast ship like the Ellie is. Like, I feel like you want to make use of that speed, and if you slow down on purpose, that's... I don't know. I rather wiggle dodge than stop and go dodge. It's a preference.
Yeah, and me, I'm all about stop and go. When I was first playing the game, right, I was always full 4W, and then I never changed my throttle. But as I experienced the game more and more, I learned to change my throttle up to make it more difficult for me to hit. So, to me, I think the propulsion makes sense. Steering
Which
gears
is like-
is fine too, though.
My main concern is like the ship is so fast, there's a high chance people will not lead you enough to begin with.
Right.
So if you slow down, you're actually making it more likely for them to hit you.
I mean that is a possibility. Although I also think about in terms of like dodging torpedoes and stuff. I felt very comfortable dodging torpedoes in both ships, frankly, but I think I felt more comfortable in the Ellie dodging those torpedoes. And I think it's part because of that extra speed that jumps in. Keep in mind, of course, the Ellie is a longer ship than the Duplex, right? Actually, they look about the same. Like, hard to tell.
Duca looks very low because it's so slim.
Yeah,
It actually has a quite decent turning radius for how long and slim it is.
yeah. Well, they both do. They're very similar. This is 10 meters longer turning radius, so it's no slouch when it comes to dodging torpedoes too. Okay.
I'm curious to see which one is gonna win. Like, I
I'm
have a
curious to
feeling
see
that
too.
the French